Alrighty, let's see what we've got today. Nocturne and Hinterlands. And I've got the 5-2. It looks like it'll be nice. This kingdom is like mostly 5 cost cards. Okay. So there's no village in the kingdom, but I think you can still build an engine. There's plenty of non-terminal draw. Crypt, Den of Sin, Stables, Imp, kinda, Devil's Workshop. As long as you have a number of unique targets for it. Imp is like a laboratory. Trashing is also a little bit awkward. Crypt can set aside coppers just fine. There's no reliable way to get rid of estates. And actually, in particular for Crypt, you typically want to trash estates early so you can line it up with more coppers. You can get lucky off of Grove or Tracker and get Flames Gift, but there's no way to guarantee that. It's just like a 1 in 12 shot. Plus buy is Sacred Grove. There's also going to be a pouch in the starting deck in place of one of the coppers because Tracker's in the kingdom. Berserker's a nasty card. This is 2 kingdoms in a row with cards that really ought to be on the ban list. But I mean, yesterday at least, it seemed like the bot ignored Swindler, and actually, this might be a kingdom where Berserker is skippable. We'll have to see. Like, most of the important stuff costs 5. There's cards in the 2 to 4 range, but none that you really want to have in large quantities. So Berserker's on gain effect, or not on gain effect, it's on play effect of gaining a card doesn't look all that great. Hmm. So yeah, no villages, no estate trashing, but I think there's enough draw and plus buy to get something together and shoot for like double province or so, clicking some combination of stables, Den of Sin, and Crypt mostly. Seems like hitting 5 will be important. I do have the 5-2, which seems good. I wonder how you'd open on other splits. I'm just going to consider the 3-4 briefly. Silver Knight Watchman is not a bad opening. You buy Silver turn 1, Night Watchman turn 2, and then you discard exactly 1 estate. And then your next hand is going to be silver, 3 coppers, and an estate, or silver and 4 coppers. And then either way, you're A, 100% guaranteed to hit 5, and then B, you've got a short shuffle. And so when you buy that 5, it gets shuffled back in immediately instead of in 2 turns. That can get you to an immediate 5 cost card. On the 4-3, you could also do Tracker, Night Watchman, same business. You discard 1 estate, and then you have Tracker and 4 coppers, and then you could buy Berserker and it would attack immediately. Or if the bot would do anything like that. The bot tends to like Berserker an annoying amount. That's probably not a great opening. You get an early attack, and a discard attack turn 3 could be a nuisance. But then you have both a Berserker and a Tracker in your deck, and they're both terminal, and there's no way to resolve that terminal collision. I think actually, I mean, Night Watchman also doesn't seem like a great card to have in the deck long term. Silver Night Watchman is a good opening for getting 5, but I think maybe you just prefer double silver on the 3-4. You open silver silver, you have a decent chance of hitting 5 turn 3, and then you've got 11 money total in your deck. So if you hit 5 turn 3 by Den of Sin, then you're 100% guaranteed, well, essentially 100% unless Berserker messes with it, to hit 5 again turn 4, and then you can go from there. Anyways, I don't have that split. 5-2. Hmm. Do I want a tracker on 2? With no villages, no way to trash an action once it's in your deck, I think you kind of want to pick one of the terminal actions and stick to it. Tracker, Berserker, or Sacred Grove. And the abstract, Tracker certainly looks like the weakest of the 3, but it's also the one that costs 2, and I could pick up for free on a turn where I'm otherwise doing nothing, whereas the others are all conflicting with other 5 cost gains. So it might just be that Tracker is the most practical. The top deck effect isn't super important. Berserker, the attack's a nuisance. Try mostly just gaining you silvers, which in this kingdom are okay. Sacred Grove offers a third buy, which could be significant. Like if you're hitting 15 here at some stage and you want 3 5s, that third buy looks pretty good. I think for the time being, I probably am okay with just playing with a tracker. Stables. At this stage of the game, Stables is worse than just a laboratory because the copper is like a better than average card in your deck when you've got a bunch of estates around, and sifting past a copper isn't necessarily a good thing. Yeah, I managed to hit 4 even with an extra coin off of Cracker. Unfortunate. Do I want Devil's Workshop at all? Early, it's probably getting silver, which is eh. Imp doesn't have that many targets. I think it's shown up once or twice recently in dailies as well. And I think I commented the same thing. Devil's Workshop just looks a lot worse in the daily kingdom, I think, than it does in a full random kingdom, because it tends to show up with a bunch of other nocturne cards. And the thing you really want for Devil's Workshop is a diversity of actions that it can play so that you can support a large number of imps in your deck. And there just tends to be a lot of non-actions when you got Nocturne around. I'm just gonna buy another silver, I think. Do I want to top deck it? The bottom 4 cards have 4 coppers. Mm. Yeah, I think that's fine. Right, technically a pouch. Top decking it means I don't trigger a shuffle, which is probably a good thing, because it means whatever 5 I buy goes right back into the shuffle. I think one more stables. It's a little early to want crypt. I might take a crypt now, and then ideally if I can hit 5 here, I buy Den of Sin, and that sets up for a big hand on the following turn, and then hopefully I line up the crypt then. Nope. This was a pretty poor draw. Not much to be done about that. I'll just take one more crypt, top deck it. I was hoping that the crypt was going to be in the bottom half of that shuffle, which is much more likely than what happened. And then I would buy Den of Sin, and then I would have a big hand here. But this is fine. I'll still get a bigger set aside on this crypt. Okay, just one more stables, I think. Now I should be drawing my deck just fine, I think. I don't want payload. I'm hoping to get Mountain's Gift or Sky's Gift actually could also be quite good here. The one that lets you discard 3 for a gold. So I'm going to have all these estates in hand. Can I get Sky's Gift, please? Let me not. Actually, it doesn't matter whether I play the stables. I was thinking I might want to leave it in hand to discard the Sky's Gift or Wind's Gift, but I'm going to have estates either way, so it doesn't really matter. Have not been hitting excellent boons. I hate to say it, but this might be a gold buy. I got draw. I think what I need is payload at the moment. It's either that or just a Den of Sin. I think my deck is thin enough and has enough stables that I don't really need the extra start of turn draw at the moment. Ah, that. Bot nabbed the Flames Gift, which is probably the most valuable boon in the abstract here. Moon Boon is not the one I wanted. This one is almost always entirely useless. Okay, I've hit 8. Like a silver. And stables. And okay, I'm gonna set aside 3. There's a risk in setting aside too many cards and then not having enough payload in your deck in a given turn. I also kind of need to keep the pouch around for plus buy. My goodness, I'm just getting an incredibly raw deal on these boons. Flames Gift is excellent because Flames Gift is like gaining a laboratory here because it's the only way to get estates out of the deck. Mountain's Gift and Sky's Gift are also excellent. Like free extra gains that add payload. Earth's Gift would be pretty good. Forest Gift at the right time would be good. I got that at a point that it wasn't quite so good. And I've hit, I think, the 3 worst boons I could get. Wind's Gift, Moon's Gift, and Sun's Gift. Back to back to back. Man. Okay. Yeah, I'll take them. Wait a second. Did I do something wrong? I messed that up. You never want to have the same number of cards on 2 different crypts. I should have paid more attention. Because now they both come out of play at the same time. And then they're going to end up in your deck at the same time. And that is just, they're getting in each other's way at that point. That was a mistake. There we go. I couldn't get Mountain's Gift, but the bot managed to get it for me with a Sacred Grove. Alrighty, can I get Sky's Gift? Nope. 15. Yeah, it's probably time to start buying provinces. I'm kind of limited on buys. I could add a Sacred Grove for a third buy, but then it's kind of conflicting with the tracker. That's not great. Let's go ahead and add another Den of Sin. Yeah, I'll take it. Obviously, this is one that would be much better to get at the end of a turn when I've got a bunch of estates in hand. And that's a poor draw. This is not going so great. It's entirely possible taking the Sky's Gift there was a mistake. I expected to draw a little bit better than I did. My word, I have 2 crypts in the deck, which again I shouldn't even have them both at the same time in the first place, but I managed to bottom deck both of them. So I think I need 2 Dens of Sin kind of desperately, because that next turn is going to be terrible otherwise. Why does the bot have 2 Devil's Workshops and 2 Night Watchmen? That can't be right. I did not mean to click gold. That was supposed to be a silver discard. Looks like it won't matter too much. Okay, so I think I'll set aside 1 on that one. I guess the gold should be the one that I set aside. And then 4 on this one. And then that first one will be back in 2 turns. Okay, with a good draw, I can win this turn. Actually, hold on, let me not discard yet. This isn't 16 yet, is it? No. This is 5, 10, 13. Is it 16 now? 8, 10, 11, get 14, 15. 1 off. How about now? Nope. Can I get a good boon? A little bit late for that Flames Gift. Unfortunately, this is 15, isn't it? Yeah. So maybe I do just want to trash a copper then? I'm not even sure that's true. With stables around, the coppers actually could be a good card. I'll take 2 duchies. Could buy. This is not necessarily a bad time for Berserker. Just buy it and get in 1 attack immediately. Slow the bot down. I like the sound of that, actually. Alright, take a silver. And unfortunately, this kind of tends to be the case with stables. The deck falls apart pretty hard when you get to the stage where you got a bunch of green cards, because you have to sift past your treasures and you just draw into all the junk. A bit unfortunate. I think I need a duchy to hang on here. I can't reliably do province plus duchy, and so I want to have a points lead in case the bot buys a province. Okay, I'm getting somewhere. I don't love discarding silver here, but I probably ought to. 8, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 12's nothing special. Because I wanted to draw the stables. Oh, 16. Didn't see that coming. I think the 5-2 is probably good here. But man, those tracker boons were just not cooperating. I think the mid game was just way slower to get going than it could have been on account of the wind moon sun combination at a point where I just really needed payload. What else do I think? I think the tracker was I think on average the tracker should have done a lot more for my deck than it did. I just got uh pretty awful. You didn't mean to knock that over. Set of boons there. Like if I get Flames Gift once, it's already kind of justified itself. Like imagine your trash is one estate and then later you pivot into Sacred Grove or Berserker. Well, now you got a dead tracker in your deck, but it just replaced the estate that was going to be a dead card anyway. One Sky's Gift really would have made a big difference. On the 4-3 or 3-4, probably you don't get tracker. You get Berserker or Sacred Grove or something. But I think with the 2-5, it seems fine. I think this was just it doing as little as it possibly could.